Good afternoon, 8th hour sewing. This is Mrs. Palm. I am here. You just can't see me. Today I'm out sick at a doctor's, or not sick, but at a doctor, out of the classroom at a doctor's appointment, and I want you guys to be able to keep going so we can continue to work on our projects, even though I am out. So this is my first attempt at making a video for a classroom when I'm out sick, so please hang in there with me as I stumble over my words for the next 2 minutes of your life. Our next project is going to be a little ornament cushion. I use mine as a pin cushion, but it's going to look like this. So there's either a heart one or a shamrock one that you can pick from. Miss Crow will give you directions that is in a packet, so you have curved seam directions, and on the next page it has some information about tripping and clipping seam allowances. Here's your options between heart and shamrock. You can pick whichever one you would like to use, and then there's a grading sheet at the end that you'll have to staple your little heart pillow to in order to grade it. That'll be a little while yet, and I'll be back tomorrow so we can talk about that. The directions are very straightforward, so hopefully you can get this done pretty easily. So the first part of the directions says rough cut out the pattern piece. So that's what I did here. Just a real simple rough cut around the pattern piece. That way we can get rid of this extra paper and we're not struggling with that. Then you need to pick two 6-inch squares of either cotton or flannel. I have a bunch of squares available for you to use. If you have ones that you want to bring or ones that you can find in the scrap bin, you can do that. So when we go to start out, we need to take two of the 6-inch squares, lay them right sides together, matching the pattern or design. So if I had these two, let's trade you. These two, I want to make sure that I can find the right side of the fabric, or the more pretty, I know that's not a good English, but the more pretty side, the prettier side, and we're going to lay it right sides together. If you do need to do some matching, do your best to match. It's not the end of the world if it does not match. This is just a practice pillow. In order to do this, remember that we're practicing curved seams. So our square pillows obviously had straight seams and corners. We do have some corners on here, but we do have curved seams. That is going to make a huge difference at the end if you're not careful with those curved seams. When you have your pieces together, the next thing that you need to do is pin this pattern piece onto the fabric. Remember, you always want to, even when you're just pinning a pattern piece on, pin perpendicular. We're going to have to cut on the solid line, which is a marked cutting line. So we want to make sure that our pins are not going across that line, because otherwise you will dull your scissors, or my scissors if you're using mine. Okay? So don't over pin, but you want to have enough pins to make sure that when you cut, your fabric is not going to be shifting around. Okay? Next thing you're going to do is cut this piece out right on the line. If you find a nice scissors, you should be able to go get the fabric cut decently. What I'm going to do is stop and grab a different pair of scissors and then cut the paper perfectly on the line, because we don't want to dull our fabric shears by cutting paper with them. So there are little scissors up by the art box that you can use. If you have regular paper cutting scissors, we can use those too. Okay, and then you're going to continue to cut the fabric out right on the edge of the pattern piece. Okay. I'll be back with the next step.